My name is Troy Nemo. I'm the athletic director here at GDA. This video is hoping to give you some information that possibly makes things a little smoother in our athletic department. I first want to go over the sports that we have and activities we have remaining for the rest of this school year. Then we will go into the sports throughout the year. We currently have registration open for golf, and that is high school golf. It is for 9 through 12. It is a MSHA regulated sport. That registration will be open until February 16th, as practices for that sport will start the 26th of February. As well, bass fishing. We have a meeting coming up very soon. It was posted on Weekly Updates with Madison that we'll be meeting the golf coach and bass fishing coach. Both of those are having meetings coming up very soon, and get the information to get those spring sports. Then going into the summer, we do have junior high baseball, and that is for current 6th and 7th graders on that junior high team. High school consists of 8th through current 11th grade juniors. Brad King and Lindsay and Matt Ogden have headed that up the past couple years, and Matt and Brad coach the high school team in the summertime, and they make a schedule through the SABA organization. It is the Springfield Area Baseball Association. That scheduling takes place a little later in the spring. Practices for that will start probably mid to late April, and then they play a couple months into the summer. The junior high team, last year they played at Republic in a Parks Department league, I believe it was, and we plan to have that as well, as long as we have enough participants, but that goes throughout the summer. Going into the summer, there could be some possibilities of having strength and conditioning and training for our athletes. Each individual head coach is looking at doing some of those things, from our basketball to our volleyball. For that specific sport, is doing some conditioning a few days a week, doing some body strength training, and better preparing the athletes for the summer. The head coaches will be determining when that will take place. If they are, I would like to get going in our athletic department is possibly have strength and training throughout the summer and maybe even during the school year. But those are possibilities that could happen in the summer as well. We have coming back into the school year after baseball is over. Our next fall sports will be volleyball and cross country. Volleyball will not be MSHA regulated, not this coming year. We do have a new volleyball coach, and she has several things set up, some off-season training here in the spring and some off-season camps in the summer. If it is a camp, some of those will cost a certain amount to attend, because she has an outside source coming in to help with those camps. But we will keep volleyball in the Christian League as of now. We are looking to go to practicing probably 5 days a week instead of 2. I think that is necessary for us to improve our skills, and our coach is wanting to do the same, so we can have those kids every day and hopefully improve on things instead of 1 to 2 days a week and you don't see them for 4 or 5 days and come back. So we're looking to treat it more like a MSHA sport, where we will practice every day, even though it won't be. Hopefully it will be an easier transition when we do make that a MSHA sport. Then we have junior high and high school boys and girls cross country. It is a MSHA regulated sport. Again, that takes place in the fall to go along with our volleyball. Practices start in August for those and go till the end of October for both of those activities. Our cross-country coach will be doing some things possibly throughout the summer as well to get those kids ready for when season begins. We will open the registrations for both of those, the fall activities, in the midsummer. We will post it in weekly updates ahead of time, a few weeks ahead of time, so you know to start looking for that when that tab will be open, so you can register for it. Going into the winter, we will have high school boys basketball, which is a MSHA regulated sport, and that is for 9th through 12th graders. This year we had one team, a varsity team only. I think pretty confident with the numbers we had in junior high and the numbers we have coming back, we'll be able to have a JV and a varsity boys basketball team next year. Not 100%, but I think we will. hopefully. And that allows to get more kids and participate. We also have junior high boys. It is not a MSHA regulated sport. It is Christian League oriented. To be determined whether we try to make that MSHA junior high or stay Christian. We'll determine that later on in the spring, early summer. We will try to offer girls junior high basketball again. We tried this last year and didn't have enough numbers to be able to participate and have a team, but we will try again this year to do the same, and probably they will play in the Christian League along with the junior high boys. But that will be determined at a later date. To coincide with basketball, we have cheer. This is the first year we've had cheer, and it's 7th through 12th grade. And at the end of February for golf, February 26th, it's usually that last Monday because it's a MSHA sport. And then bass fishing goes along the same, and bass fishing can even go deep into the summer if we have kids qualify for national tournaments. We do have meetings for that coming up within the next few days for our bass fishing and our golf. To meet, we do have a new golf coach, and he's going to give out information of where we'll be practicing and times we'll be practicing and information that you need to get turned in. Then again goes back into summer baseball. Hopefully on the horizon we can possibly make baseball a MSHA regulated sport where we would play in the spring and play other schools that are MSHA affiliated. They've been doing the SABA League for a couple years, so hopefully we have enough interest built up and enough youth coming up through the program where we continually have a program, and that will be something that we look to add to MSHA hopefully in the near future. And then volleyball we're already playing, so hopefully add it to MSHA down the road. Let's take a minute here to go over paperwork. This is probably one of the most important things, because if we don't have this turned in and it's not turned in correctly, and a kid is participating in a sport, that student is participating illegal, and that becomes problems for the school. Then if we're letting a student participate and MSHA finds out or that student gets hurt and they didn't have insurance or didn't have a risk waiver turned in, that can come back on us. This is probably the most important thing that we have to do. And whether we're MSHA regulated or we're a Christian League, we're going to treat all of the programs the same, and we want them to turn in their paperwork. Obviously the Christian League is not regulated by MSHA rules, but we want them to go by the same rules and have all the paperwork turned in. Some of our activities don't require a physical. Some of them we just need a risk waiver, but whatever the requirement is, we need to get that turned in. So I want to go over where to find these and show you each page and what we need. If you go to our webpage, you go to Student Life, you go to Athletics in the drop down, and then popped up, it will be all of the buttons at the bottom. And it will have our risk waiver, it will have our physical, our annual requirements, and it will have our registration forms on there. You will click on that, and then you can print it off, and you will fill them out, and you will turn them in. The best place to turn them in is to the Golden office, and they will put them in my mailbox, or they'll put them in Brittany's mailbox, and then we will file them and put them in a spreadsheet so we know exactly who has turned in what, and we will put a date on it so we know how long that physical is good for. Okay. The first one is the annual requirements. This is page 1, and you will print that off and you will fill it out, and be sure that wherever you're supposed to sign it, please sign it, and have your student athlete sign it as well. Highly important. I've had several turned in that were not signed or dated, and if they are not signed and dated, they're void. We have to have them signed and dated. Page 2 of the annual requirement. This is the insurance portion at the bottom, and all we need to know on your insurance is you're going to check the box. It's going to ask you to verify that you have insurance, and when you check yes, you have told us and you've told MSHA that you have insurance for your child, and we're going to trust that you have it when you put yes in that box. Okay. Page 3, it is the last portion of it where you're signing and you are dating on the back of that. That is your annual requirements. Those 3 pages have to be turned in to me or Brittany. The easiest way to get it to us is turn it into the main office, and they will put it in our mailbox. If you absolutely have to, and you haven't turned in your information, and it's the first day of practice, you can turn it into your coach. So you can go ahead and participate if you have it all, and then the coaches will get it to me in the athletic office. The other form is a one-page, and that is the sports risk waiver, just saying that you acknowledge that things can happen in sports, and you are signing off that your student can participate in that, and you need to sign it. Your student needs to sign it and date it as well. We need that turned into the athletic office. Then the participation form, the physical form, it has one page that we actually need, okay? And I will show you that shortly. The first page of that physical form is just you're filling out the information, okay? You do not turn that into the school. You keep that, or your doctor's office will keep it. Page 2, more questions, just yes, no questions about some medical history form. You keep that as well. We do not need it. And page 3 is a continuation of those questions, okay? And the doctor fills out part of that. Page 5 is the most important page that we need. That is the actual medical eligibility. This is to be turned into us. The school office, turn it into me, or you can turn it into Brittany, and if you have to, you can turn it into your coach, okay? This one is all we need out of this packet, page 5. The other pages you keep at home. This one, very important that you sign it. Your physician signs it. I've had some in the past that the physician didn't sign it. It's no good if the physician doesn't sign it. I've had some that it was not dated. If it is not dated, it is not any good either, because a physical is good for 2 years from the day of the physical, okay? So you don't have to have one every year. Every 2 years, this is good. That's why it's highly important that it is dated. If it is 2022, right, it is good till 2024 of whatever month it was given. But I have to know that because maybe we have one that was given in 2019. That physical is no longer any good. And we have to have an up-to-date physical that a doctor has signed and dated, that that person is able to participate in sports, and turn that one in only. Out of all of these pages, the physicals, the annual requirements, and the risk waiver, here's what I highly encourage you to do. Make copies of all of those pages. Encourage you to make copies of that. Please double check that you've signed it, your son or daughter has signed it, and the doctor has signed and dated in all those places. Because if those things are not done, it's still the same as not having it turned in. So I highly encourage you to check on that. And lastly, I encourage you to, if you have questions about our athletic program, is to email me or Brittany, the assistant athletic director. We're going to be able to find the answer for you, even if we might not know it. I can make phone calls to the state, and we can typically find those out pretty quick if it's a difficult situation. Something basic, if I don't know it, it can be found in our MSHA handbook. But I encourage you to call or email one of us. Email is the best way to get a hold of me. I am at GDA in the mornings until about noon, because I do still coach at Nixa High School, 2 sports. So I am gone to practice and games in the afternoons and evenings. But I will check it that next morning, or I'll check it if I don't get home too late. But Brittany as well is a great resource. She's been here for many years, and she's here more afternoons than I am, so she can possibly answer it if I can't. And you can leave a short email or leave me your number, and I will call you, or Brittany will, and we can answer those questions as quickly and possibly to clear things up. A lot of times that makes it easier than asking a neighbor or asking each other what you can do here, what you can do there, because sometimes it's difficult to understand the handbook. It gets very wordy, and that's why many times if I haven't been faced with that issue in all my years of coaching, I will just call, because sometimes it can be interpreted different. I read it, and I can read it 5 times and interpret it different every time. So I encourage you to get in contact with one of us, if we can help you with anything with questions, and thank you for taking the time to watch this video today.